Hi, welcome back. This is your January reading for Scorpio. So, Scorpions, what do you have happening to you in January? Let's find out. All right. So, that center card there, that's representative of your present day, your current situation. And that is the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands is very indicative of fire, passion, um, jumping into action. Uh, the drawback to the Knight of Wands is that it's you rush into something very very quickly without realizing what the consequences could be. So, an example would be running into a burning building to save, you know, an animal or a person or some belongings, not realizing that you can put yourself in danger, right? Okay. So that's your current day. Very passionate, very fiery, very action oriented. The strength is the Fool. So the strength that you have to kind of help correlate with the Knight of Wands is the Fool. The Fool is all about taking a leap of faith, starting a new journey, um, just trusting in yourself, trusting in the process, letting go. So quite interesting. That's a good strength to have, right? Because it's showing that you're trusting the universe. You're trusting your intuition, and you're just going along that path of action, and just seeing it where it takes you. Now, the weaknesses that you may have: the Queen of Cups. This is someone who's a manifester. She she's very motherly, like very emotional, very caring, very nurturing. So I would basically say some of the weaknesses in here is that caring, nurturing nature. So it might not come across that you actually have that, because when you're full steam ahead, when you're taking a lot of action and you're moving and you're going and rushing through things, and basically going out on a limb, just trusting that things are going to work for you, sometimes your emotional aspects are not necessarily going to be um, displayed for others to see, right? So that caring nature, it's not going to be that evident. Now let's take a look into your recent past. We got the Emperor here, and he's a fire sign, and he is all about structure and determination and passion, represented by the sign of Aries. You can see the ram here. Um, he's also somebody who can act quick, and their tempers can go off fairly quick. So you have come from the Emperor in the past, so being very structured, um, almost bullheaded, I want to say, to the Knight of Wands, so who's also very action oriented and very passionate. It's almost like you took a step down a little bit, um, and there could be reasons for that, right? So it's not a bad thing. You still have the same characteristics: that fire, that passion, that drive. Now let's see what your near future holds. Queen of Pentacles. She is very opposite of the other two that are in that line. She's very grounded. She's very chill. She's motherly, very caring. She's a provider. So she provides for her family when it comes to money and materialistic things. Okay. But she also likes to get out in nature and ground herself. So you're going from a lot of fire here to eventually being grounded and chilled. Okay. Now, there are obviously some steps in between there, so we're going to pull a couple of cards in a minute. But first, we're going to go through the four corners, and those are the four elements. So the first one here is Earth. And here we've got the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is it's a lot of happiness, a lot of joy, like your wishes are coming through. You can't believe it. Oh my God, so to speak. And it's in the earth element position. So again, a lot of grounding. So how does it relate to the Knight of Wands here? Whatever you're doing, whatever your passion is, because it's bringing you a lot of happiness, right? So you're on a road. You're like a locomotive. Like nothing is going to stop you. Okay. And it's like you're whatever you're doing, your wishes are coming true, but you're staying grounded about it. You're not making a big thing about it. It's almost like you're keeping an internal happiness going here. The next card is your mental state, the air element. Okay, so the Queen of Wands here, she's a manifester. She is, again, a fire sign. So lots of fire here going on. She is, how can I put this? She can be very direct. She's able to communicate. She's good at projects, delegating, and it's in the element of air position. So that indicates to me that in like the element is your intellect. So you're really good. You're very intelligent, and that's why you're able to carry through this fast, quick pace that's happening in January for you, because you're able to use that intellect and that fire and that passion together, which is very, very important. Okay. The next card is your fire. And that's the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is the happy white picket fence family, so to speak. So you can see the couple here. They are happy. They're wrapped in a rainbow. They've got the kids playing out in the distance. So everything's going really, really well. So that fire that you have, that passion, it's lit from a good place, right? So your emotional state, that happiness, it's the reason why you're on fire is because you're happy, and it's a good thing. So you've got like happiness here on both corners, which is fantastic. The last one here is the water element, which is your emotions. And you have the Three of Wands. So your emotions are also lit. The Three of Wands is looking into the future. So from an emotional standpoint, you're looking ahead. So as much as you're rushing into things, there is a little bit here that's kind of telling you, I need to look a little step further, maybe not too far in advance, but you're planning for the future. Your emotional state is planning for the future, knowing that you're rushing through things in January. Okay, let's take a look at the top line. The top line here is representative of your external influences, okay? So we've got the Nine of Cups, the Fool, and the Queen of Wands. So your external influences, I'm going to say, has a lot to do with the way you look at life. You're letting the Fool in this spread kind of guide you to where you're going to go. You're just taking that leap of faith, and whatever it's doing, it's working for you because you're really, really happy. And it's showing. People can see it, right? And then you've got the Queen of Wands. She's a manifester as well. So the external part of it, there's things that are working in your favor, very much so. Your internal influences here is the bottom line, which is the Three of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the Ten of Cups. Internal influences, a lot of emotional cards here. And again, happiness, manifestation. You've got a couple of manifestations here going on. You've got three queens. These could also represent people around you. So you could be surrounded by people that are very loving, very grounded, very passionate. Okay. But your internal influences here, again, you're planning for your future, that happiness, you want it to continue and you're planning on it continuing. So that's a good thing, right? That's how you feel inside. You feel happy, you feel content. Okay, so how did we get from um, your past to your present to your future? So let's see what happens here. So from the Emperor to the Knight of Wands, we have the Hangman. The Hangman is all about looking at the world from a different perspective. So not within that box like the Emperor. So here you can see now you went from looking into like a box, very structured, to trying to see what other people see, a different perspective. And so you took a step down. You still have that fire, you still have that energy, you still have the action based personality. You're just doing it now from maybe a different angle. Okay. And then how do we get from the Knight of Wands to the Queen of Pentacles? We've got the Four of Swords, which makes perfect sense. The Four of Swords really talks about rest. So you're being a lot of action happening here. You're being influenced by a lot of action and a lot of emotion. Okay. And there comes a point where when you need to chill and time out, the only way to get there is to rest. Okay. So you're going to take some time out, you're going to rest, you're going to reground yourself. You've done what you need to do. You've become successful when it comes to business, your finances, your career. And it's just time to chill. So, Scorpio, I hope this resonates with you. If it does, hit the like button, add a few comments. Don't forget to share it. And until next month, shine your light.